How you going, people? Oh shit, we got a good one here. Man, I do not know what it is about cops, man. If there's cops watching me, what the hell are you guys doing keeping your damn gun hand occupied with pen, paper, and IDs and not having your gun out when you're dealing with a suspect possibly involved with gun usage or gun crime? I don't get it. The lackadaisical attitude of these cops are causing these shootings. This guy probably wouldn't have pulled the gun had these cops handled this different. This is going to be probably a long one. It's a pretty good one. So cop shows up and he's investigating this car because it was involved in a shooting about a month ago. It matches the description that was involved in a drive-by shooting.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good. This vehicle comes back as having no insurance on it. Are you aware of that?
This is my wife's vehicle.
My car, they have...
How does a car come back with no insurance? Is that something new? I never, when I ran cars, it didn't say whether they had insurance or not. You can't register a car without showing proof of insurance. I don't understand how he knew that. So he may be just pulling a ruse because he says later that he's investigating this because of a drive-by shooting.
insurance on it through the loan company,
Okay.
and I've been responsible for it.
All right. Have you got any identification, sir?
Me?
Yes, sir.
No, sir, I don't.
What?
Okay, look, as a cop, when a guy says, I don't have ID, that's a huge, we call that a clue moment. Okay, most people carry ID. It's different if they say, I've got ID, I don't want to show it to you because I don't think I committed a crime. That's different. This guy says, no, I don't. He's being cooperative in voice, but his behavior is very suspicious, to say the least. And the audio went out here for some reason.
Oh, okay.
My wallet was stolen not that long ago over at the library.
Oh shit, he was at the library studying for doctor school. Who would have thunk it?
Gotcha.
And very common for crooks to say, I lost my wallet or it was stolen. And usually, first thing I would do, I go, oh man, your thing was stolen? Damn. Did you file a report? And if he says yes, then I'll check to see if a police number or case number, and I'll know he's lying. If he says no, then I know he's lying. Well, Rick, you're saying he's lying no matter what. That's because 99% of the time they are lying. What's the odds of me contacting 15 people a day who had their wallet stolen? Pretty slim to none, and Slim left town.
Okay. That sucks. I'm sorry to hear that.
I want you to notice this guy's always got something in his gun hand. Either a pen, a pad. He doesn't have his hand on his gun. He doesn't have his gun out. If I'm contacting you and you're involved in a drive-by or shooting or gun-related offense, at a minimum, my hand is on my gun. Probably it's out by my leg, and somewhat likely you'll be at gunpoint until I get everybody handcuffed, and we'll figure it out later. I mean, people, I'm telling you, I contacted Sacramento has a lot of shit areas, and we had a lot of gangs and a lot of gun violence, and I contacted a lot of people with guns, career criminals, wanted felons, parolees at large, and I'm telling you, if you do things right, they know they're going to lose, and they're less likely to pull a gun or do something. These cops' lackadaisical attitude is what empowers these criminals to think, man, this cop ain't on the game. He ain't paying attention. He's stupid. I got him fooled. See, this cop's, and I think this cop kind of knows what he's doing, because after the shooting, he does some things that I can tell he's kind of street savvy. But he may be playing the dupe and the rope-a-dope on these guys, like, and I've done that before, to where you act like it's not real serious and everything's cool and I'm your buddy, but you're really on high alert and you're ready to do it. But I don't do it. I don't play the rope-a-dope with a freaking pen and paper and flashlight and holding my cap in my gun hand. I mean, at a very, very, very minimum, nothing is in my gun hand so I can grab my gun. Like I said, probably my hand's going to be on my gun, or my gun's going to be out, or you're going to be at gunpoint. You're dealing with a car that was involved in a drive-by shooting. Why would you be sitting there by yourself, multiple suspects, no backup, and you're out here with a freaking pen writing down shit? Hell, you deserve to get shot doing stupid shit. Rick, you can't see cops and shut up, you big dummies, trying to educate the idiots who want to learn.
What's up, man?
Nothing.
Okay. Have you got a driver's license? You just don't have it with you?
No. Well, yes and no.
Well, yes and no. We call that a stall. A lot of times they'll repeat questions. He's saying yes and no, meaning he's lying. Meaning he's going to say, I have a license or it's expired. Or I have a license and it's suspended. Or I had a license and I never renewed it because I had warrants. All those things are indicators he's lying. Rick, you can't say, shut up.
What do you mean?
I have a driver's license out of Wyoming,
Okay.
but
It's valid?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
I'm not sure, and then he says I'm going to be honest. When somebody starts saying I'm going to be honest, that means they're lying. Come on, people, keep up.
Wyoming,
Okay.
but
It's valid?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, I appreciate that.
I'm not sure. Murphy, MURP.
That's not me cutting audio that was blanked out by police activity. Thanks, police activity, for the video.
Got a middle name or initial? Perfect. Any warrants I need? What for? Anything felony?
Okay, so he asked for warrants, and the guy probably said, yeah, I might have a couple warrants, which is pretty common when you're dealing with guys coming from the library that don't have ID because their wallet just got stolen. Very common for them to say, I might have a warrant. And then the guy, you notice the guy goes, is there any felonies? Because if it's a misdemeanor, the cop's gonna go, ah, shit, I don't give a shit about misdemeanors, and move on. I know everybody thinks that cops want to arrest everybody for freaking littering, but cops who deal with real crime don't give a shit about traffic tickets and misdemeanor warrants.
I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a felony or not.
Okay. What would it be, or what's the charge?
Possession.
What?
It's a violation. Probation violation.
So he's giving inconsistent statements. When he asks him what the warrant's for, it's private for possession or it's a violation. Crooks know, most normal people who haven't been arrested don't know about probation violations, parolee at large, just went to the joint, I just shanked somebody. They don't know all these terms. So when you're dealing with crooks and you develop your street savvy, you learn when you're talking with somebody who's been in a system, who's savvy with the system, who's savvy with police, who knows what you're doing. So this rope-a-dope, kind of like I'm your friend, will play only so long when a crook really knows. And remember, a crook knows whether he's going to jail or he's not. These guys know they have warrants, their car's going to get towed, or they're going to get arrested. So all they're doing is stalling and trying to plan their best moment to try and get away. And it may be running, it may be knocking you down, it may be pepper spraying you, it may be pulling a gun. But all they're doing is stalling, and you need to be aware of that and ready for when they decide. Because remember, action beats reaction. Cops have to react, but on something like this, you make the criminal react instead of act. You draw your gun first. You keep them at gunpoint. You wait for cover. You have everybody with their hands up. You get the advantage by making them react. You don't keep playing dumb to where you have to react.
Okay.
Hear the kid in the car? Big problem. You got guys involved in the shooting. You got a guy with no ID. You got him lying about warrants. He hasn't even checked the guy in the backseat yet. The guy in the backseat's the one that pulls the gun on him. He hasn't even noticed, show me your hands, what are you guys doing, I'm waiting for cover. He's out here writing freaking shit down with a car full of people. I think there's 4 people in there on a gun call, and he's writing shit down with his gun in his holster. I think he finally calls for a second unit, and the way he calls, it's like, hey man, could you come back here, he doesn't say, dude, if I was calling cover for this, well, I'll wait till that.
751 from 753.
came back as no insurance? You
It
said?
did.
Notice that notebook in his gun hand? That's a delay. If he has to draw his gun, he's moving it around the suspects. He's blocking his vision. He's doing things that are against everything that is taught in basic tactics when you're dealing with possible armed suspects. I just don't get what these cops are thinking.
Hey, if you're not too far away, come back over here. I know you're en route to a call, but I'll need you for a minute just inside the gate.
Notice the way he called for cover? Did he say, I've got a car? I mean, if I was calling for cover to be like, dude, why don't you come back here and step it up? I've got a car full of people that was possibly involved in a drive-by shooting and probably going to have a couple warrants. Why don't you step it up and come back here? Give the guy a clue what he's coming to. This guy's probably sitting at lights. He's finishing his donut. He's like, ah, shit. All right, I'll roll by there. I'll get there in a sec. He didn't put any urgency or any information that would make this cop go, dude, this could go bad quickly. Bad move on this cop's part.
Can I smoke a cigarette?
Please, yeah, go ahead.
Can you smoke a cigarette? Yeah, please go ahead. You know what? I know people are going to say I'm an asshole, bootleg, control, whatever. You don't smoke cigarettes when I've got you detained like this. You don't have ID. I don't know who you are. You've already said you possibly have warrants. You're in a car. I got 4 people. I got no backup. No, you cannot smoke a cigarette right now. I'll let you smoke one in a minute. I don't want you reaching around a car, possibly grabbing a knife, gun, bazooka, or grenade and taking my ass out because I'm trying to be a nice guy, letting you reach around and grab and look for your lighter. Now you're digging through the glove box. Now you're digging on a floorboard. And I ask you what you're doing. And because I told you you can smoke, you go, man, I dropped my matches or I dropped this. And now it looks like you're doing lawful movements when in fact you're just grabbing a gun. You don't want people reaching and grabbing for shit. I just don't get these guys officer safety. And I know there's going to be some whining ass, pink panty freaking eating his pink donut coming here crying, it's real easy to crack on these guys when you're not out there. You're a pussy. Shut up. This is freaking critical training that FTOs and academies ought to be teaching. And instead, they're out here teaching this dumb shit about community policing and being everybody's fucking friend. Sorry. I digress. Let me get back to my calm.
That's fine. I just got a car that was involved in a shots fired here that's occupied.
Shots fired.
This car actually was involved.
Now, do you hear the guy in the car? Shots fired. Guess what? Now they know shit. See, at first, they thought he was contacting them for insurance, so they go, man, we can probably talk our way out of this. Just take the ticket. Don't have any ID, be cool. He'll write us a ticket and leave, because we're used to dealing with the California Highway Patrol, and they just write everybody tickets and don't run anybody. So, the guys inside are like, man, just take the ticket, be cool. Now, they're like, oh, shit. They know we were involved in that freaking shooting. But you wouldn't know it by the guy's hand with his freaking notebook and not on his gun.
Involved in shots fired just about a month ago.
What the hell? No, sir. I promise you.
It was...
Oh, you promised me? Well, shit. Here, let me let you go. I guess we're done here. I mean, you were at the library when you got your wallet stolen. You might have warrants or you might be in violation of probation. But, damn, if you promise me, shit. Everybody's free to go. Y'all have a nice day. I'm going to go have another donut.
I didn't say the suspects were using this. It was just involved. I haven't pulled up the actual full report and looking at it, but that's part of the reason that I'm...
Hand way up here, meaning he's leaning on the car. Now, I get it. Sometimes I will lean on a car or put my hip on a car while my hand's on my gun to tell if people are moving around, because you can feel the vibrations of people jumping around the back seat or reaching or bending. You can feel the movement. So sometimes there's a legitimate reason to have contact on the car. Not in this case. He's out of position. His gun's against the car. It's not out of his holster. He's got multiple people. And he still hasn't ID'd or asked the guy in the back for hands. And there's a kid in the car. And the car was used in a gun. And he doesn't have any cover. Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm stopping and talking to you about the insurance thing as well as this car was involved. And I kind of want to find out if it was a victim car or what the involvement was, if that makes sense.
So now he's probably trying to give these guys an out. Hey man, you guys aren't the suspect. He's trying to calm them down, thinking it's nothing. and he's probably stalling for time till his backup gets there. Maybe. Maybe he's just being freaking stupid. I don't know. Because there's a lot of stupid going on here. Rick, you can't call him stupid. What about the code blue? And what about you guys? Shut up, you freaking idiots.
Can I see that Horizon card right there?
No, this is my homie Quinn's.
Okay. Does he know you've got it?
Yes, sir, he does.
Okay.
Now he's got two things in his hand. He's got a Verizon card and his notepad. He's got everything in his freaking hand but his Peter and his gun.
What was his name again? I'm sorry?
Glenn?
Glenn?
Yeah, Glen. Is it 2 N's or 1? I'm not sure.
Hell, I don't know how to spell it. It's your freaking story. Who's fucking this chicken? You or me? I mean, what do you mean? It could be two. You just got a card. You said the guy knows it, and you gave him a Verizon card who owns the car, but it's not you. But he knows you know it. Oh, I forgot. You were at the library. I guess I gotta believe you.
2 N's.
Is your homie in the back there?
No, he's not in
We got a couple of homies though back there, huh?
A couple of homies in the back. He's still leaning on the car. Still doesn't have his gun out. Hasn't ID'd or looked. Notice the tinted windows, which I'm not a big fan of violating tinted windows. Cops should just have common sense on how to deal with tinted windows. You shouldn't make a damn law to where everybody in the state has to deal with Texas sun because the cops are afraid of freaking tinted windows, and then you let them have tinted windows, you let limousines have tinted windows, and you let all the Oklahoma idiots driving across the border have tinted windows because tinted windows are illegal in Oklahoma. But meanwhile, Texas residents can't have tinted windows because freaking cops... I digress. Let me get back to this video.
Huh?
It's a possession.
Are you trying to take
What's up?
So we can get the dog.
Now, he opens the door, and he sees, dude, this guy has guilt written all over. Rick, you can't say that. You're being judgmental, and you should be more tolerant and accepting. Well, that's because you're an idiot. This dude has guilt written all over his damn face, and he's jumping around the car, and this cop can't see in. So what does he do? I've got multiple suspects. I already told him I'm investigating gun crime. I got no backup. I've had every damn thing in my hand but my gun, and now I'm going to open a door and start talking to this dude. So, I mean, oh, man. I just don't get it.
Dog back real quick.
Get the dog where?
Back here.
Okay.
You said we can smoke a cigarette.
Right, yeah. I didn't say you could get out of the car and smoke a cigarette.
I didn't want to do it with my niece right here in the car.
Okay.
So first, I'm going to get the dog out. Now I want to get out and have a cigarette. Dude, anybody with any common sense knows this dude wants to get out of the car so he can run. This guy has a warrant. He knows you're going to end up running him, and I got to get out of this car. When guys start coming up with 1,000 reasons on why they need to leave, I got to go check on my kid. My sick grandmother fell in her wheelchair. She just texted me. I need to go help. When they start doing that shit, they got warrants. They want to leave. They want to leave before you ID them. They want to give you an excuse to let them go so they can get the hell away from there because they know they're going to go to jail as soon as you check them. Most street-savvy cops know this.
I'm just going to stand right here.
Yeah, I didn't see we got the little girl in there. So let's hold off on the cigarette then. Let's just keep the door shut. And
So he came up with an excuse, I don't want to smoke with a little girl in the car. So he goes, okay, then don't smoke. Well, you already told him they could smoke. But Rick, he's trying to be helpful. Yeah, well, whatever.
Why? If you don't mind me asking, sir.
because you're detained.
For what, though?
Because you're in the vehicle.
You notice he's keeping that door open. He's stalling, and he's controlling. The cop has already said stay in the car, and he's tried to shut the door. The guy doesn't want him to shut the door. So this cop is standing in basically a fatal funnel. When you stand right here with the door open and a guy's facing you, you're in that funnel to where all the guy has to do is pull a gun and shoot in that one area. Bad officer safety. I'm sorry.
Vehicle.
Oh, no, I literally live right here. I just got in the car, sir.
See, I'm not really in the car. I live here. I just got in the car. You can just let me go because I'm not involved. I'm not driving. I wasn't. Whatever, dude. Get in the freaking car. I'm not playing your bullshit. This wouldn't have happened had he put them all at gunpoint till his cover got there.
Literally, I live right here with my mom. Can I please go get her and have her come out?
No.
I gotta go get my mom. My mom, I just want to go get her and get her. Dude, how old are you? The hell's your mom gonna do? She gonna come out here and give me a mom pass? I gotta take my son to Sunday school? I gotta take him to doctor school because he's... Whatever.
Please, sir?
No.
Why why not?
I've already told you.
He's already said no twice. Now he's saying why not. He's coming up with more excuses. First was the dog. First was the child smoking. Now I got to get my mom. Now why not? How many times do people have to deal with this before they start reading these signs going, this dude is up to no good and I need to escalate this shit and stop letting these punks control this scene? Rick, you just control Jack Boot Shop.
You know,
Me,
you're
sir?
detained. You're in the vehicle. You're going to stay right here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir. I'll be closing the door. Sir, please.
Now he wants to close the door. A few minutes ago he had to leave. He wanted air. Didn't want the dog out. Now he wants to close the door.
Can I close the door?
Why?
Because you told me to close the... I don't know, sir. I've just got really, like, bad anxiety, sir.
Okay.
Oh, dog, child smoking, mom. Now I got anxiety. Shit. Ask the dude in the front who was at the library studying. He was probably looking up anxiety.
I just got out of jail the other, just like 2-3 days ago, sir.
Just got out of jail a few days ago. Ah, that's a clue. Jay, you think that would send up a red flag? We got a car, no ID, all these excuses involved in the shooting. At what point do you think you might want to escalate to a little bit of a felony stop?
For what?
Because I ran from the cops.
Okay, what's your name?
Richie Santiago.
Oh, shit. Now he wants his ID. Damn. This guy was trying to get away. Now he's asking for his ID. Standing in the car, arm on the gun.
Sorry?
Richie Santiago.
I'm sorry, arm not on the gun.
Richie Santiago?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you run from the police from?
From up the street, sir.
Just around here?
Yes.
How come you ran?
Because I'm stupid.
Okay.
I'm really stupid.
Did
sir.
you have like warrants or something like that, or
No.
what? So you just went to jail for running?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it was
stupid.
kind of stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. No, and that's... I don't know if you overheard me telling the driver, but this,
No, I ju-
this vehicle was involved in a pretty serious crime a little while ago. So it's more the fact that I wanted to detain the vehicle, find out who's in it, what it's involved with, and everything like that.
This guy right now is like, shit. I got warrants. I probably got an FTA because I got out of jail. I've probation violation or parole violation. He knows he's going back to the joint, and he's got a gun in the car. And he knows all this. Meanwhile, the cops here are being his friend.
If you've got no warrants or anything like that,
No,
I'll double check your information and I'll get you out of here as quick as I can. I've got another officer that's literally about 10 seconds away and pulling up, and then that way I can get people's names and information.
So basically, he just told him, you got 10 seconds before I get back up. If you're going to make a move, make it now. Rick, he was trying to be informative and... Yeah, okay.
As long as you've got no involvement in this case that I've got pulled up on my computer,
And what case is that, sir?
it's a shots fired.
From where?
Here.
Oh, okay, for sure.
That's why...
So now this guy is suddenly the concerned citizen. Oh, which case is that, sir? Oh, okay, I understand. Notice the head nodding, the cooperative behavior of this, all the signs that I'm no threat. I'm your friend too. I'm cooperative. Who's playing who here? Who's roping open who?
It's concerning to me. I see a vehicle involved in the shots fired right here at this address. It's kind of one of those ones I go, nah, that's probably some people I want to talk to with, right?
Shots fired at this address, sir. I don't know.
Now he's got a card in one hand and a book in the other. Everything in his hand but his gun.
Wait, that's what they said to me about insurance? I don't know.
Right. Okay.
Notice him drinking? Rick, what's wrong with that? It's not against the law to drink. When crooks get nervous and they're about to run, their mouth gets dry. They're lying. They're in fight or flight. They're about to make a move. Licking the lips. Dry mouth. Can't talk. Swallowing. And drinking. All signs to pay attention.
Okay. Okay. Well, we'll try and clear that up as best we can. All right, sir, what was your name again?
Richie Santiago.
R-I-C-H-I-E?
Santiago. S-A-N-T-I-A-G-O.
S-A-N-T-I-A-G-O.
T-I-A-G-O.
When they spell their name fast, they're usually lying because they haven't memorized. Also, when you have a cop, I always ask them to spell their name because they'll spell it wrong. Or they won't spell it in a common spelling. Or they have to think when you ask them their name. Most people don't have to think when you ask them how to spell their name. Crooks who are lying using a false name usually will give a slight pause and have to think when you ask them how to spell their name.
Your date of birth, Richie?
12/13/89.
12/13/89?
89. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right after you ask the date of birth, you ask how old they are. because they'll give a fake date of birth, and then when you ask them how old they are, it will not match the date of birth, because they'll usually change the year they were born. Smart crooks keep the year they're born and just change the month and day. Most of the crooks ain't that smart, so they change the year too, and then they can't keep up on how old they should be.
Do me a favor, come around on this side. Hold on, bud. We're not.
Oh, now we want to get out of the car. He's got backup now, and the guy's getting out. He probably would have been and I've told people this several times. I gave a lot of my bad suspects when I was outnumbered or I was waiting for cover. I always gave them room to run. When they run, it gives me more articulable suspicion. It gives me more articulable facts on flight, consciousness of guilt, all the other things that I gather from my probable cause. When you run, it increases that. It confirms my earlier beliefs. It just helps me when you run. So I always gave guys that I didn't want to get in a fight with by myself out there outnumbered. If they wanted to run, knock yourself out. I'll give you plenty of room. I'll get out of your way because I know I got a radio. I can chase you. We'll just run. All I got to do is keep you in sight until I can get somebody with a car there that's fresh, and then they'll take you down. So I'm not worried about somebody running. A lot of cops, when you trap an animal, you're going to get a fight. Had he let this guy out of the car, he may have ran, big deal. But he doesn't have a gun on him. He's trying to distance himself from the gun right now. And by putting him back in that car, he puts him in a place to where I got to go for my gun and fight. Now, obviously, he didn't know all this, but I'm just telling you from my experience how it goes.
Getting there yet? Sit down. Relax.
Yes, sir.
We're going to keep driver and passenger right.
Yes, sir. Guy's been to jail. Very polite. Rick, he's so polite. Why are you jumping all these conclusions and thinking all bad? You just don't like him because of, whatever.
Here, make sure everybody else stays there. We're going to double check these guys real quick, and I'm going to pull up the other case that
Second officer ain't much better. If I pull up as your cover and this car's involved and I see you standing over there talking, I ain't standing over there. I'm standing behind the car with my gun out, telling everybody to keep their hands where I can see them while you're running shit. I'm not standing out. The other cop's just as stupid as this cop.
I was talking about.
Rick, he's being nice and polite, and you were just a bootleg jackhammer. Whatever. I didn't get shot. So now you got one guy with a car full of people that was involved in a shooting, and you're in your car running things. And nobody's got their gun out, except the bad guys, of course. They don't know that yet.
How are you guys? All right. Richie, right?
Okay, it's about to get real. He went back there and looked at something, and the name triggered that he was either involved in a shooting, he had a pal hit. We'd get a briefing once a week on all the parolees at large or all the bad guys in our area that had warrants, and I would keep that list in there, and I'd review the names every once in a while. So when I heard something triggered this cop and said, "Oh, this dude's got a warrant, or he was involved in the shooting. I'm going to get him in cuffs." Now the cop goes into, "I'm going to get this guy in cuffs. He's one of the bad guys." And now here's where it goes down.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Do me a favor. Let's go ahead and stand up now.
Please don't tell me I'm going back to jail, sir. Please.
Yep. You're.
Dude, you mean to tell me I'm going back to jail? Yep. Well, how many people think that's going to calm things down? Well, Rick, you can't lie to him. Yeah, he can, and he probably should have. No, dude, you're not going to jail. I just need to get you out to confirm your ID. Get him out of the car. He says, "Does that mean I'm going to jail?" And then what does he do next? He goes back in the car. If that's not a freaking clue, I don't know what is. Well, you've had so many clues before that you missed. We need red flag laws for vehicles, so cops can know what to do when they see red flags.
Under arrest.
Please, sir, please, hold on.
No.
Look at him reaching back to him. Are you kidding me? I'd have a gun screwed in his freaking ear. And they don't, and that's why they end up shooting the freaking driver instead of him. The driver ain't done nothing, but he gets shot too.
No, I have really bad anxiety. No,
Okay.
no, I'm not going to resist. No, I'm not going to resist. I swear to God.
Stalling, blah, blah, blah. Both cops in the door reaching in. Both cops should have been back with their gun out. And they would have been in a perfect position to take him out if he made any move. Instead, now they want to go hands-on. They haven't cleared the car. They know this guy's going to jail. He's got nothing else to lose. If this cop knows that he's going to prison, he's even more stupid. Because the higher the crime, if this guy had a misdemeanor warrant, he was going to jail, probably not going to shoot at the cops. If he's going back to prison for 10 years, there's a higher likelihood he's going back. In California, a 3 strikes law, if it's your 3rd felony, you know you're going away for 25 to life, those guys are going to act because they got nothing to lose. And like Bob Dylan said, when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose.
I swear to God, I'm not gonna... Don't.
Okay, so now he got his gun out. Now he's got it on the person. His gun's here. Probably going to shoot his partner's gun here. I mean, they're just in a shit sandwich right now, and there's not much you can do. They have screwed themselves to the pooch, and they put themselves. Now we have a kid in the car, we have a woman in the car, and we got the driver. None of them have been searched. If any of these guys had guns, these guys would really be screwed. Because while they're dealing with him, they'd turn around and shoot the cops. But, yeah, it goes down bad.
What have you got?
Who wants to guess if the kid shot? Who wants to guess if anyone else is shot? Well, the driver's shot too.
Hands out! Hands out! Hands out!
Fucking hands! Shots fired! Shots fired!
Anybody covering a car? Anybody know if anyone else in a car has a felony warrant or has guns in a car? Of course they don't. But Rick, how could they know? They could know if they went to a felony stop, had everybody with hands up, and took them out at a disadvantage one by one. What the hell is wrong with these cops? This officer safety, they just screwed the pooch, and now they've got nobody covering a car. They have no idea who's in the car, and they don't know if there's other weapons in the car. And because they're in fight or flight, they got tunnel vision on the dude they just shot at. Well, Rick, you can't expect them to ignore it. You're just being picky. Shut up, you freaking idiots.
Let me see your hands! What's his name, Richie?
Richie! Both! Everybody out of the...
Everybody in here, don't move! Don't
Out of
move.
the car!
So now we're just getting everybody out of the car. Well, good thing they're not getting out with a gun. Well, Rick, how are they supposed to know? Well, that's why you don't do it the way they did it.
Down on the ground! Down on the ground! Down on the ground!
Kid's crying because her dad in the front seat just got shot, I think.
Richie, hands out! We can help you out. We can help you out.
Notice the hair. Fight or flight. A lot of blood going through the veins right now. Heart's pumping.
Hands out and I can give you medical aid. Hands out and I can give you medical aid, Richie. Richie!
So he went to weak hand now. And he's dealing with the car. He's not looking where his gun's pointed. I get it. He's stressful. Shit just went bad. It went bad because they didn't do it right.
Get her out of the car! Get her out of the car!
Get fucking hands!
Who thinks he could have shot before let's see here. Damn slow computer. Look at the way he's holding that gun. He laid it in his hand. Who thinks he could have shoot with his left hand right now? He's keeping his gun out. It's in his left hand. I'm not sure his fingers can even get to the trigger. The way he laid it down.
Out of the car!
Get fucking hands!
Who's watching the people in the car and make sure they aren't grabbing a gun? Rick, they can't. They're trying to keep you. You make it sound easy because you think you're... Shut up, you freaking idiots.
Keep him covered. I'm going to check on the kid. Where?
Okay, so he thought maybe the kid was shot. He was going to check on the kid. And I think they're worried about their dad being shot.
Who got shot?
My husband got shot, my husband!
Okay.
Yeah, now she's pissed you shot her husband. So, good thing she didn't have a gun and have warrants, or we'd have a bunch of cops shot. And this whole situation was created by poor officer safety and not upgrading to a felony when they should have, and they had plenty of reason to upgrade this to a felony stop. And they didn't. You can go watch the whole video. I mean, they end up...
out.
Getting people out. They end up moving in on him. They get extra
Okay.
units.
He's still got a gun. I don't want to approach him. As far as I know, he's still got it. Let's just stay right.
Okay, so if you want to go watch it on police activity, I'll try to remember to put it. If not, search this title, and that'll take you to the video. I mean, look, it sounds like I'm just cracking on these guys, but these tapes are invaluable training opportunities to point out how bad things can go when you don't do things right, when you get lax, when you start treating drive-by shooting suspects like you treat some little old lady you pulled over because she went over the center line and somebody called her in as possibly not being able to drive good. I mean, officer safety, street savvy, knowing how to read suspects, all those things are critical to stay alive out there. I mean, cops shoot everybody now, so it doesn't really matter. They aren't held accountable. When I was there, you kind of had to justify shootings a little bit more. Now, shit, you can just shoot everybody and be a mistake and not have to worry about it. That's why there's so many damn shootings. Anyway, I digress. We'll end that there.